Wallace.
And I have Jon here with me.
3 phases, dressage, cross-country, show jump. And you're out on course and something's going wrong or going right. You know how to react to what they're doing.
It was built originally to be a schooling facility, and so everything's set up very conveniently.
Welcome to the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros from here in Horse Trailer Pros Studios. And Rick, we're here for another great episode. We've got Aaron Vale and Caroline Martin coming up.
Really good interviews coming. I can't wait for those.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to both of them. So it was a big weekend. We all just got back from Rocking Horse.
We did.
And I know you guys had a bunch of horses there, and Anissa had a bunch.
We did. How did you do?
Yeah, it was good. I had just 3 horses that were coming out for their first run in a while in the training level.
Right.
And they were good. They got done what they needed to get done. My ragtime rebel horse went out and smoked around the cross country, which was really exciting.
Good for him.
Because I needed to sort of see what he was going to do and whether or not he was
Sure.
going to be ready to move up. And so I think, touch wood, the plan is to move him up at the next run at
Prelim?
Ocala and put him in the prelim. Yeah.
Awesome.
yeah,
So
it was
we
good.
had the 6-year-old thoroughbred right here.
Yep.
He did the prelim training.
Which one is that? Bumanji or?
It's the ultimate booming boudron.
Right. Used to be Bumanji.
Yeah, American Bumanji.
Right.
I changed it to his registered name with ultimate in front.
I like it. It's going to take me a little bit to remember
I know,
it, but I like
people
it.
have a hard time with it, but I figured we go with his racing name, so I just put ultimate in front.
Perfect.
He did prelim training. He did super. He was a little bit gypped in the dressage, but super other 2 phases. Briggs had the super pony there for her outing in prelim. Did really great. And we had another Nygaard thoroughbred there, ultimate prediction, and he did his training. And he got a little out of hand cross country, but we'll figure it out. I know you've had those episodes before.
Yeah, it happens.
It's a bidding issue.
Yeah, for sure.
And Elisa was there and did really well.
Cool.
As well.
Cool. So
well.
just
Well.
a little well as well. Just a little bit of some sort of scores and updates from that. I thought it was kind of cool. So Buck had the Errol Gobi horse out.
Right.
I think I said that right. And he won the intermediate A division. And then I went looking down here, and then he had Carlevo out.
Right.
And he won the intermediate B division and actually was second on Victor BZ. And then I was like, well, that's kind of cool. Ryder won both divisions. So then I look on and I see, well, Lauren Nicholson won on Landmarks Monte Carlo in another intermediate division. And then
Her other gray horse.
this other horse, Lauren Nicholson was riding, called Paramount Importance, and that one won its division as well. So it was a really good start for everybody there. So So
It
those
was
guys
super.
those guys did well, and there was lots of good finishes for a lot of people there. And I thought Rocking Horse put on a great event.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it's a lead up to the next Rocking Horse, which will have the advanced.
Right.
And so also Ocala the week before, a lot of horses will be going out intermediate there.
And there's so many horses at Ocala. There's like 630 some horses
That's crazy.
at Ocala. They've already had to put a wait list in, which I can't remember the last time we had a wait list.
Yeah, that's crazy. There's a lot of horses here, but COVID going on last year, we're all trying to catch up. We still have COVID. We still got to be in compliance. And there's some other news coming up because of COVID.
Yeah, and we'll get into the COVID issues with Kentucky here in a minute. But before we do that, I did think it was worth talking about the emerging athlete assessments.
Right. Leslie Law is coaching that team.
Yeah, so Leslie's coaching that team, and we actually were really lucky because we got Joel, thank you, Joel, to go
thanks,
out
Joel.
there. And he got some footage of some of the training that was going on. I know Leslie was in there coaching and training the riders, and then Karen was there sort of on the sidelines. Yeah, Karen O'Connor was there, I think, sort of talking to them and offering a hand
I know
as
Peter
well.
Gray went and watched a bit, and I don't know if he's on the advisory, but I know he was there.
Right.
And there was 10 under 25 in Ocala, I believe.
Yes, and then I know they had a session in Aiken before that, which had 9 riders.
Right.
And then I just was actually on the phone with Leslie. He just got back a few days ago from California, where he was out there with 4 riders on the West Coast.
So we don't know a list yet, though.
No, I think basically the list is pretty well set, and it's just got to go through and get approved and go
All
through
the stuff
process.
that it's got to go through.
And make sure everybody makes sense and knows where they're supposed to be. But yeah, so that's basically should be out soon.
Well, that's exciting.
So yeah, it's very exciting.
It's real important for our sport to have these under 25 really get the support they do, and Leslie Law's been doing a great job developing and bringing them up the ranks, because I know a lot of under 25s have transitioned on. Caroline Martin being one of them. I think she hopped over some of the under 25 as she went through it and went on to the training list. So
yeah, we'll get to talk to her about that in a little bit for sure. But yeah, it's so great that we have these great horsemen to teach these kids, and that they have
and a
access
place
to
like Ocala that has now so many things going on with the World Equestrian Center. HITS is going on. There's just so many local schooling shows at Mardanza and at Clayton's, and everybody that's holding those. I think Will Coleman does it as well. So and Sweet Dixie.
Right. Yeah, Sweet Dixie holds a bunch of good shows. They have that great
Really good
jumper
stuff.
series there every
Exactly.
week.
So we have a lot of opportunity here in Ocala, and it's really super that everybody steps up to try to get all our horses prepared and ready to go. Now, one of the things that everybody was preparing for has now come with a big deflate and a punch in the stomach.
Yeah, it was a tough thing to hear. We just heard word, Tuesday, right?
Right.
That Land Rover Kentucky is not going to be having the 5-star, which I don't know about you, but when I first read it, I thought that's incredibly disappointing, but I get it because of COVID. They can't have people. But then you read through the release and they say
they're going to do the 4-star short during the same time period that they were going to do the 5-star long, which and they said, and the spectators will be able to watch live stream and be all excited about the 4-star short. I was like confused. I was scratching my head. What is different from the 5-star long doing the same thing as the 4-star short?
And it sounds like they're talking about possibly the 4-star short, possibly still having the, the
Grand Prix.
The 4 or 3-star Grand Prix.
Right.
And
everything.
and even having some other ideas open. And I would love to know, and it's hard, it's so easy to criticize, and I'm not there in the meeting, so I don't want to be. I'm trying to remain
criticizing.
calm.
I think we're trying to understand as you're saying, as if you're looking at it, they say all the same competitors will probably be competing in the 4-star short. That would have been in the 5-star long.
Right. So I don't understand. I mean, I guess it's a slightly shorter track, so maybe there's a little less effort going into some of the preparation, but you still have to mow the fields and get good footing. It doesn't make sense to me, and I'd love for guys from Kentucky, from EEI, to come on and explain to us why they feel they can't run the 5-star long when they can run a 4-star short potentially.
Right.
I'm sure they have a reason, but I don't understand.
And I'm all about transparency, and sometimes you can't be. I don't know why, but if it comes down to money, just say it comes down to money. And if that's the issue, I always have heard that if they can't have spectators there for the 5-star long, they're not going to run it.
Which is fair, but then how can you say
you're going to run it for the
4-star?
4-star short?
Right. I don't
want you to get rid of the 4-star short, mind you.
No, for sure. But I just would love some explanation. I think, look, the organizing committee doesn't owe it to any of us to tell us why. It's their own thing. But it sure would be nice if the riders who were aiming there understood why they feel they can't run the 5 long when they can run this other stuff.
And it brings up another good point that happens July 1st. And that's the FEI transition to the new requirements for graded athletes, number one.
Yep.
And for how you qualify to go on. So we've had a COVID year in 2020, which we could not really compete at where we could compete. And then we have 2021 coming up with cancellations of a 5-star. And July 1st, implementing harder requirements for horses going into 2021.
Right. When I can tell you it was all set, because I do some of the FEI stuff, it was all set out logically to make sure the sport and the athletes are safe. But this throws a whole nother wrinkle in it for sure.
It does, because I was talking to Lisa today, and she's like, Dad, it makes sense if we would have had a regular year.
Right.
And everybody having what they needed to do to get through to July 1st for the new requirements. I'm not stating that we don't need those. It's just really difficult on horses as we try for, especially the qualified horses that now have to do extra
Right.
in order to go on for the next 2021 FEI.
Yeah, I just hope everybody on all sides is thinking about the consequences of all of this.
Sure.
So, on a good note, on a very sort of fun, exciting note, we did get some really good news earlier this week that our good friends, Zach Brandt and Audrey Stanka, who Zach is an advanced level competitor.
Right. He was been on the show.
Track. He's been a guest on the show. And Audrey, his girlfriend, who really is his right-hand woman, and worked for Leslie.
And left.
Worked for Leslie for a long time, and his left-hand woman. You're right. Worked for Leslie for a long time. They got engaged.
That's amazing. I know. I heard that. I saw the pictures on Facebook. Congratulations to both of you, and we hopefully are invited to the wedding.
We better be.
Right.
We better be.
And along with the joys, we've had some sorrows, and both of us have been really affected by that. And that was Anissa Cottongim.
Yep.
Passing away on Sunday evening at 11:30. And we both were talking over last weekend about how much she affected both of our lives in good ways.
Yep.
And how her death has brought a lot of sorrow for us, and at the same time, joys of her being in our life. And I know you have a lot to say about it because you're writing something very special that she produced and brought along, and that's Profit.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun story. I had sold one of my advanced horses, Zatopek,
Right.
onto a young rider, and another one of my advanced horses I had at the same time, Proper Timing, that was owned by
PT.
Yeah, owned by Chuck McGrath and Megan Ritchie. We decided that his upper level career was over and that he would go be a young rider horse. And so I was sort of out of those two horses and needed to rebuild my string. And so I called Anissa and said, look, I'm looking for a nice young horse. I need to produce it. I'm not interested in just finding a horse that I can go quickly on. I want something that's really quality that I can believe in and produce correctly. And she immediately told me she had this beautiful 2-year-old colt that was, I think he might have just been 3 actually. I think he was 3-year-old colt that was up at Andrew Palmer's place.
Right.
And
In Alabama.
Yeah, and so I called Drew up and arranged to go up and see the horse. And he was a quirky, hot little guy, but he was super cool, quite the athlete. And so I called her back and I said, look, Anissa, I love him, but he's got to be out of my budget. I can't spend a fortune. I'm trying to rebuild the string and I have a farm to run and all this stuff to do. And, I don't want to insult you, but I don't know if I can see such quality. I don't know if I can do it. And she said, well, we'll make it work. I want you to have the horse. I believe in you and I believe in the horse and I know you guys can be special together. And so she gave me an exceptionally good deal.
Right.
She basically partial sponsored me on the horse to get me to buy it for all intents and purposes. And then, fortunately for me, my good friends Chuck and Megan said, well, we want to be a part of it too. And they bought into the horse with me, and the rest is history. We own the horse. And it's funny, you have owners and everybody talks about, gosh, we want owners. And I'm so lucky with Chuck and Megan that they're so incredibly supportive, but Anissa really came along for the ride as Profit's mom.
And she's quite the mother.
Yeah, she
is. And she loves and loved her horses, every single one of them that are born. We've seen all her videos. We've seen her come to every show and watch Profit. We even had the interaction at Tryon when you were doing the 3-star with the horse. And the live stream unfortunately didn't get to the 3-star long
for the
show
jumping, right?
And I called her on FaceTime and had her watching you go in the show jump, and she was so excited to watch that horse jump around.
Yeah.
And you had a rail, maybe?
I had one down.
Yep.
But he finished in good placing. I'm trying to remember where he was now. I think he was 5th, maybe.
He did.
He was 5th, and my other horse Archie was 6th. But You know, the thing with Anissa was she loved that horse regardless.
Didn't matter what.
But she always wanted to know, in a great way, where's he going, what's he doing, and through all of this that she went through, she was always so up and so happy, so much so that I didn't even appreciate how bad the cancer was.
Right.
Until the last probably 6 or 8 weeks of it, when I looked up what she had, and I thought, wow, it's
serious.
This is really serious.
Yeah.
I hope that her being positive is going to get her through this. And I think her being positive it just shows you, like, the way she lived life. She was such a happy, positive person to be around, and the way she dealt with something like that kind of a sickness, really, I look at it as a lesson in life, as like, you can stay up and positive and make the world a better place right to the end.
I agree with you, and I was talking to a friend of ours, Libby Fletcher, about her, and she told me, she said, Anissa, and I wouldn't say it's to a fault, but she always was optimistic.
Yeah.
She had the stallion Tat and Drag Tate that she loved, and is the father of Profit, that competed at Advance with Andrew Palmer.
Yep.
She actually won, that horse won the 1-star, now the 2-star at Red Hills 5 years ago, I think, and was the catapult for that horse moving forward. But that horse broke down, unfortunately, at Ocala a couple of years ago, but was always optimistic that horse would come back and do something and keep going and being great. And I think with your point, I saw her take her illness and put it all on Facebook and let us be with her and support her. But I have to say, she always had this brightness about her, and even in her sickest days, she looked beautiful to me. And
yeah.
I think that just is a testament to what her soul was and what she is today in heaven looking down on us.
Yeah, and just the last thing I'll say, and I know it is the only regret I have with that horse, and I've said this to you before, is that I tried so hard last year to do right by the horse and produce him correctly and get him going so that he could do his first advanced while Anissa was here.
Right.
And I didn't get that done, and I don't regret it because it wasn't the right thing for the horse.
Sure. And Anissa knew that.
But I do regret it because I wanted her to be able to see it, and I really hoped she was going to stick around this spring, because I'm hoping that he's going to make that move up this spring. And I know she'll be there.
She'll be there.
She'll be watching, but I wish she had been here watching.
But I know something, John, that you did do for Anissa that made her super proud of you and the horse, and that was he did reach a really big level on the Trakehner Association, being a performance award, and I think it was the silver award. I'm not quite sure what it was.
Yeah.
But it was something big that was given to her, and she is a big, supporter of Trakehners. I think we have one here that's related to Tat and Drag. That's Q, but
yeah.
She and her mother Ann and TJ, her father, we send our deepest condolences to you, and we're here for you. I know there's a memorial being set up. I don't know if it's going to be virtual. They're asking for no flowers or anything be sent to them. They're going to let us know how we can help and really live in the life that Anissa had. And I'm sure Anissa wants us all to be joyful and not sad. Yep. And so it's hard not to be sad because she is such a wonderful woman.
Absolutely.
And friend.
Yep. Well, we certainly are going to miss her, and it's going to be tough, but we'll press on and we'll do the right thing by her horses and try to. I'm going to certainly try to be as close to as positive and wonderful a person as Anissa was.
And that's a good goal, and me too. And we're coming up with Aaron Vale and Caroline Martin, so stay tuned. And Anissa, we know you're listening, and so we love you.
Want to advertise on the Jon and Rick Show? Contact Jon at 352-875-8622
Or call Rick at 850-879-2649.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
When it comes time to compete, I demand the best out of my horses and myself. That's why Elemental Fit Lab, the home of CrossFit antics, is my home gym. Coach Vilma and her team create a fun, welcoming environment for athletes of all levels. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned athlete, Elemental Fit Lab will guide you towards a stronger, healthier version of you. Mention the Jon and Rick Show to get 3 free personal training sessions with enrollment.
Sweet Dixie South is an equestrian facility built for the lifestyle of eventers of all levels. Whether you are coming to Ocala for the entire season, a week, a month, or a year, this beautiful 160-acre farm is the place to settle in and enjoy your time with horses. They offer a full cross-country course with 2 water features, banks, ditches, an amazing footing to gallop, a spectacular all-weather footing ring, large grass jumping fields, and dressage rings. Located in the rolling hills of North Marion County in Reddick, Florida, Sweet Dixie South has 100 stalls and numerous paddocks, apartments, a line of camper hookups, washer and dryer amenities, as well as common areas to complete your experience during your stay. Under the ownership of Mike Campbell and the management of Can-Do Joe Adams of Top Rail Tack, Sweet Dixie South has transformed into a premier eventing training facility in Florida. Go to www.sweetdixiesouth.com for more information. Hey, Rick here. Do you have a horse suffering from poor performance, anxiety and fear, low appetite, agitation, or nervousness? Stress Less can help. Stress Less, the hot horse remedy, is veterinarian-developed, show-safe, all-natural formula that promotes calmness, focus, and mood balance in horses experiencing stress related to training, showing, racing, stall rest, and travel. This equine supplement encourages calmness, focus, and mood balance without affecting the motor skills or energy levels of your horse. It promotes a more willing and balanced temperament with no drowsiness or impaired function, resulting in increased focus, a calm mind, and a happier horse and rider. Try Stress Less today and see for yourself why we think Stress Less is the best hot horse remedy you will find. Check us out at centerlinedistribution.net and on Facebook and Instagram as Stress Less Horse Supplement. Welcome back to the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros, and this segment is sponsored by Stress Less Horse Supplement. We have somebody very special on set.
Yeah, so we're super excited. Thanks for being with us. We've got Aaron Vale, who has over 250 Grand Prix wins and is argued to be one of the greatest Grand Prix riders America has ever produced. Currently holds the records for the most Grand Prix wins in a year, most double clear rounds in a year, and most money won in a year. That's a big one to me. Good job.
Right.
He has had the opportunity to rep the USET on several European tours. His success in the Grand Prix ring does not hinder his appearance in other disciplines, though. He was reserve champion at all 3 of our nation's equitation finals, the McClay medal, and USET. He was named Best Child Rider at Washington. That was just a couple years ago.
Yeah, very recent.
And the Pennsylvania National, and has been the winner of the United States Hunter Jumper Association, Hunter International, and National Derbies, and been the winner twice of the $500,000 Diamond Mills Hunter Prix, which means tonight he's paying for all the drinks.
Perfect.
Yeah. So
welcome.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's exciting to have you here, and I actually just got to watch you this Saturday over at WEC.
Yeah.
And you won the Grand Prix there, so that was pretty awesome.
The whole thing over there is awesome, and show jumping is a great sport, and this new facility here in town just makes it feel like a major league sport now. It's just it's a completely different feel. It's a completely different sport over there.
And I think it's so cool. I haven't been able to go to watch anybody compete yet, but
definitely going to get. Are you doing another Grand Prix over there in the next couple weeks?
Another one this Saturday. The next week it goes on a Sunday, so I won't be able to compete due to scheduling conflicts, and then we'll be back there, I think, every Saturday afternoon or evening through the finale mid-March.
So you're tossing it back between WEC and HITS.
Yep, we're doing double duty right now.
Double duty. So I was actually you probably don't remember because you see a lot of people, but I was in the in-gate and the jumpers you were doing the 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
And you have one of your girls that tries to keep you straight and in line, telling you we shouldn't have done the 5-year-olds first.
That would have been my wife. Yes.
There she is.
That's the one who keeps you in line.
Trying to keep you straight.
I kept on looking at her. She goes, I just kept on telling them we're doing the wrong thing first. So I guess you need to listen next time.
Oh, absolutely.
So the horse shows at WEC, those are not USEF recognized shows, is that correct?
Currently they are not. They are recognized by
the Spur
I'm not going to say the National Snaffle Bit Association,
right.
which this is our first
so does that
dealing with it for me. But anyways, we showed there with all of our horses and clients the first couple weeks before HITS started, and I have to say they felt very well officiated from a steward, referee
kind of deal.
Idea,
it
just
feels
as
very
well.
much like any other USEF show.
Absolutely. There are actually a few rules that were a bit stricter with equipment and stuff than were allowed at a regular USEF show, and they had drug testers there, so it's all legit and up to snuff for sure.
So because it's not a recognized competition, obviously you're not getting points.
With USEF.
With USEF. So does that affect which horses you're going to take and jump in the Grand Prix there?
No, not at all.
No.
Just the money.
Just the money, basically. I've got a really big string this year. I've got 8 or 9 horses that are capable of jumping Grand Prix. Obviously, some are a bit more seasoned and competitive at this moment, but just kind of finding out. We've located a couple horses that are very competitive over there, so we'll try and. There's a bit more money later on in the circuit at HITS, so we try and juggle it all. Where for me the points count at the bank right now.
Exactly.
So wherever, however we can get the string going to win the most money is how we're going to try and organize it.
That makes sense because we talked about the World Equestrian Center and the conflict in the beginning with USEF and how, at first there wasn't going to be a meeting of the minds, but they, thank goodness, worked it out because a lot of FEI riders that would have competed in an unsanctioned or unapproved or allowed event might have an FEI repercussions, but that's gone.
Well, for the moment, yes.
For the moment. So that was my point. We talked on the show a while back.
Yeah, no, it's good they've got it sorted out. So just to sort of go into this Saturday, because I know you won there, 3 weeks ago as well?
Same horse.
I won the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I was third the other week and then won again. So I've won 3 out of the first 4.
Wow.
That's pretty good job. You're staying right there with the
different
money.
horses?
I won with the same horse the first 2 weeks, and then a different horse won this past Saturday.
Yeah, so this Saturday you won on Major, which is owned actually by Don Stewart. Is that right?
Don Stewart and Sleepy P Ranch.
He's got to be a little bit stressful to ride for, I would think.
Oh, not at all.
No?
Don wouldn't be hard and stressful.
Not for me.
All right,
I've known Don for years and ridden for him for years, and he can dish it out, but I'm not a big disher-outer, but I know Don well enough I can dish it back to him. So
that makes it better for sure.
We're a great team. We do well together.
That's good.
And then you were 4th on, I'm going to massacre this name,
Candro.
Yeah,
We'll just go with Candro, yeah.
All right, perfect. And what's that horse all about?
He's a newer mount for me. He's jumped clear at WEC the last 2 weeks. He's new, so I haven't figured out quite how to go fast enough to be the winner with him yet, but we've had a great start the last few weeks. So
cool. And then I was there briefly because we were gone at Rocking Horse at the event all day, and then I wanted to run over because I knew you were jumping and you were going to be on the show, and I wanted to watch Doug Payne as an event rider jump, which he didn't have the day he wanted, but he'll be back. So I only got to watch you ride the Mr. Incredible horse, which I know you had one down on him, but God, that's a cool horse.
He's a very cool horse. Just turned 9 years old. He's very unseasoned,
Right.
but he's got all the ability. I think he's a true, Olympic prospect.
He sure looks it. I mean, I'm not a jumper. I don't know.
I think that's probably his 4th real Grand Prix, I would say, at this moment. So he just jumps the fences so easy. And talking about it's a different sport at WEC. It's a different sport riding that horse. He just needs a bit of seasoning. So hopefully, bright future for him.
Yeah, it sure looks that way. I was super impressed with
Yes,
that one.
he's impressive to watch. I was watching the videos last night, and it's unbelievable. So
I watched that one, and I was like, oh, maybe if I could get the ride on that sort of horse,
yeah, exactly.
I could maybe do this.
Yeah, I've been looking for that horse my whole life, actually.
Right.
That's incredible. Yeah. Talking about your whole life, I know you probably, the memories that we go way back, Don Stewart and Jack Towell and all the group. My daughter was young and 9 years old. She went to McClay finals. But we did a lot together, but during that time, just in the same group, obviously, we kind of canvassed around the area. But something you did that was really interesting that I remember was you were a rider for Robert Duvall in the movie Something to Talk About when they were doing the Jumper Show movie. Julia Roberts, Dennis Quaid, Robert Duvall, and you did all the jumping for Mr. Duvall, correct?
I did a lot of the jumping for him. We did a lot of really neat camera work.
Right.
A lot of it didn't make it to the big screen.
Right.
We actually, Robert's a rider himself.
Sure.
To some level, and we actually set up like some gymnastics and stuff with like a pole to a small jump to another jump. So we actually got some of the actors some actual jumping screen time that probably took away some of the screen time that I should have gotten.
You got yourself out of business.
Exactly.
But you got to train Robert Duvall.
That's pretty cool.
I spent, nearly a month total
right.
on that project, and I think if I watch the movie, I can count up like 1.7 seconds where I'm on screen.
I can actually see you quite a bit. I think it's more than 1.7
I don't know about that.
seconds.
I've watched it, and I don't see me very much.
Not very much.
I catch my leg one place, and
and it was filmed at the Perry Ag Center in Perry, Georgia.
And we did some work in
South Carolina.
At a beautiful farm plantation type thing. It was great fun. We had a lot of fun shooting that, and
so now you're like the go-to guy when they need somebody to jump horses in Hollywood.
That was
I
like
wish.
1990. What was that? 90.
Well, maybe we need to put this out there. Have you done
95.
what's the app or the website where the actors go on and you like IMBD or something like that? Isn't that right?
Oh yeah.
Do you have an account there?
Maybe I should get one.
We'll get you with Joel.
Later on, I filmed a commercial for a Chevy commercial for a Suburban to pull a trailer, and actually that was like 2 afternoons, and I made about 20 times the amount of money that I made for the month on.
Yeah, exactly.
On Something to Talk About.
So let's talk about that a little bit when we come back from the segment. Again, thank you, Stress Less, for sponsoring this segment. It's a great calming supplement for your horse. You should give it a whirl if you haven't already. You can go to hotsupplements.com and learn more about it.
Hot Horse Supplement.
Hothorsesupplements.com. One of these days I'll get that right.
We'll be right back.
Hey, Rick here. Do you have a horse suffering from poor performance, anxiety and fear, low appetite, agitation, or nervousness? Stress Less can help. Stress Less, the hot horse remedy, is veterinarian-developed, show-safe, all-natural formula that promotes calmness, focus, and mood balance in horses experiencing stress related to training, showing, racing, stall rest, and travel. This equine supplement encourages calmness, focus, and mood balance without affecting the motor skills or energy levels of your horse. It promotes a more willing and balanced temperament with no drowsiness or impaired function, resulting in increased focus, a calm mind, and a happier horse and rider. Try Stress Less today and see for yourself why we think Stress Less is the best hot horse remedy you will find. Check us out at centerlinedistribution.net and on Facebook and Instagram as Stress Less Horse Supplement.
Jump for Joy USA has what you need for your private farm or recognized competition. Our jumps are no maintenance, easy to move, and affordable. No scraping or painting necessary. We offer jump stands, wings, fillers, water trays, and more. Poles are wood-filled and available in 4 weights and lengths. And we now offer octagonal poles. Our cross-country portables and brush jumps are extremely useful and have been used for training by the British eventing team since 1990. Easy to move from the arena to the field and no tractor required, so you can change your setup often. We ship coast to coast in the USA and Canada. Visit our website, jumpforjoyusa.com. Summit Joint Performance, the injectable joint supplement used by numerous international and Olympic riders, invites you to experience the winning Summit difference. Made of all natural ingredients, Summit increases mobility and comfort. Win your class with Summit Joint Performance. Grant Showalter has over 15 years of equine bodywork and saddle fitting experience. His technique uses manual pressure and stretching to release points of restriction, leading to freer movement, reduced soreness, and restored range of motion. He has a thorough understanding of the importance of a properly fitted saddle. You can quickly identify and correct any balance issues and can adjust your saddle on site. I personally have Grant work on all of my event horses to keep them feeling their best before, during, and after their competitions. Grant is based in Florida year-round, but regularly travels to Georgia, Tennessee, and the surrounding areas. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 484-639-4454.
Welcome back to the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros from the Horse Trailer Pros studio, and we are still fortunate enough to be here with Aaron Vale, and thanks for sticking around.
No problem.
So one of the things that I wanted to make sure we got to talk about while we had you here was your extensive eventing career.
Oh, very extensive.
Yeah,
I rode 2 events.
Yeah.
So,
and what'd you think of that?
it was great fun. Been a few years ago.
Yeah.
As a lot of things are at this point in my career and life.
It's more recent
But,
than your movie career.
Yeah, just a little.
So what made you decide to go event? Was it a horse you had, or were you riding? I know you're good friends with Buck.
Good friends with Buck Davidson, and I had a horse that kind of had accomplished everything he could in show jumping. He wasn't a Grand Prix horse. He wasn't suitable for an amateur in show jumping. So I figured, hey, I'll do a couple of events with him, and I did a couple of preliminary events up in Newberry, Florida.
Yep.
Had a great time. I think the first time I would have won, but it was the first event of the season, and by time you got penalties for going too fast.
Yep.
So I completed too quickly and was docked some points. I got speed faults. And then the second time, I forgot my dressage test. So I got a few points. I ended up second, but I had a little deduction there for, a circle that wasn't supposed to be in there or whatnot. So
Well, it's good for everybody to hear that, even Aaron Vale can go off course here or there.
Oh, absolutely.
It is a new sport for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And the speed thing is funny, isn't it? Like, here you are, you go do a jump off. It's how fast can you go? You win.
Exactly.
And
So
then here we go slow.
I didn't think I was that far too fast, but
Well, you won the jump off at WEC,
the next time I was on my clock, and I think I trotted in to make sure that I didn't get speed penalties.
Yeah, and the reason
you got to learn the rules.
Right.
Exactly. The reason the speed penalties were put in place is because people were going way too fast. So, in interest of horse welfare, we implemented the speed faults. So that worked. But why did you decide not to continue?
Time.
Yeah.
Once in a while, we still take our young horses, and in the spring, after kind of the busy part of the circuit's over, our winter show season, we'll take our young horses and go over to Buck's place and school cross country, or go over to Longwood and school cross country. It's a great experience for the young horses and something to keep us entertained from monotony of the same thing over and over again.
And eventing hasn't caught up to Grand Prix show jumping yet, so we don't have the money that y'all can make.
I guess.
Yeah. But I think the other thing is, and maybe I'm wrong, but it's to go event one horse for the day takes the entire day.
Yeah.
Whereas you can go to the horse show and you can ride a dozen horses in the same length of time if you wanted to. I'm assuming that makes more sense.
For sure.
business-wise.
I mean, yeah, I guess business-wise, that's a good point there. You know, and show jumping's my passion, but I like all horse sports. I mean, I've ridden reiners, I rode a few steeplechase races, I've fox hunted, you know, so.
And one of the things I've always respected about you, and I've brought a couple horses over to show you that I wanted to sell into the different world, and you have your whole business is set up, and it's think like a horse, right?
Thinks like a
Thinks
horse.
like
It's
a
supposed
horse.
to be. It was supposed to be think like a horse, but that's my email address.
Right.
And when I signed up for my email address with AOL back in the day, it was during the days of dial-up internet connections, and I was almost to the end of signing up. Think like a horse at AOL.com, and then I lost the connection. When I dialed back in, it wouldn't let me have think like a horse
Because you'd already
it was
put it
taken.
in. Right.
But it wasn't completed, so I couldn't get it. So
But-
I had to add the S.
So
Which,
you could do it then.
yeah, it was supposed to be a thought process, not I do think thinks like a horse.
Right.
That's a bit presumptuous but it's the best I could do under the circumstances.
Well, I think it's cool, and like I remember the first time I brought a horse to you, you were working with another horse on the ground in the round pen. Like you really do, I think, from what I've seen, take the time to get to know them, to spend time with them. You don't just, I guess the point is you don't just hop on and just ride them and go. You actually
No,
work them, train them, seem to do it properly, which is great.
I try. I mean, it's a process to try and figure out each horse to maximize their talent. I think many horses are such good creatures. I mean, you see what happens with some people and horses,
Right.
and it's amazing that more people aren't tragically injured in some
With what they're doing.
circumstances. It's a real tribute to the horse. And again, I think horses are so talented, and it's just really trying to create a communication level where the horse understands you, or you make things the horse's idea rather than forcing the horse into something to really maximize what they can do.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
think
just-
that's the key, is the forcing part, because you can't
You can't,
force them to do
you know,
anything.
I mean,
but
you can force them.
but it's not
But
happy.
a horse that operates on his own thought process
Right.
for you
It's much
instead of
better.
against you is better. So it's an ongoing, you know, struggle and passion of mine to do it as well as possible.
Yeah, and I think we talk about that all the time, right? It's like trying to keep your levels of passion or anger down when you're riding a horse. You can't let that over control it, because you're not going to gain anything.
Anger never
Doesn't-
gets the
never
best
gets
out
anywhere.
of the situation.
No, sure doesn't.
You know?
But I think it's right, like you said, you can force horses to do something, but at some point it comes back to get you. You're not
Right.
gonna
Or,
you're not
you
gonna
know,
win the
but-
Grand Prix on one you're forcing around.
Not that it's not possible. I'm sure it's been done, but if you can do it a better way,
Better way.
then
A happy way.
I'm for a better way.
Right, right. So I know you said you were gonna go short term, go back to WEC, jump there in a couple weeks, you got stuff going at HITS. Do you start out, I mean, maybe you don't, I don't know what your thought process is, but like at the beginning of the season, do you have a goal for this year, something you want to achieve? Is there, what's the goal with these horses? Just to go win as much as you can?
Right now, win as much as possible. There's a lot of money up for grabs here this winter in Ocala, with the two places going head to head against each other. So that's an advantage, you know, as a show jumper.
Sure.
I'm benefiting from the competition at the moment, so we're going to try and win as much as we can with the seasoned horses that are ready to win, developing Mr. Incredible, hopefully with an eye towards something big in a year or two. You know, that horse is ultra talented. So, and I've got some other young horses that are super talented too. So trying to develop them to be winners, and it's just I'm a horseman. I'm going to ride and jump as long as I can, and just having competitive horses and trying to develop competitive horses to come behind them, so that there's a string as long as I can go, and then on to my wife and daughter for them after that, you know?
Exactly.
And do you think, like, have you already noticed, I think it's a foregone conclusion it's going to happen, but have you noticed the level of competition has risen because of WEC yet? Or is it about the same and it's just spread out between two venues?
No, I mean, there's, people coming up for the WEC shows already that haven't come up from Wellington before, so you're already noticing a difference there.
Right.
But I mean, the money that HITS is giving away kind of as their rebuttal to WEC. I mean, we've got 100, 150,000, 200,000 every week. I mean, it's incredible. Plus, then what's going on at WEC, and then what happens in the future with all of it. I mean, it's only a benefit for the horse people in the area,
right?
And for the real estate. I've been coming to show here for 30 years, and just the last 2-3 years, the construction,
everything
fixing up old farms that had fallen down and hadn't been attended to for years and years. I mean, it's amazing what's going on just in the city area here.
Down the downtown area. And
yeah, I've always loved living here for the last 20 years, but it certainly has become a nicer place to live in the last 5.
And it's getting busier now.
It is getting busy.
Super busy.
It is busy. But fortunately for me, I'm literally 5 minutes from WEC, so we just sort of scoot in there, grab some dinner, run back home. It's kind of
it's nice,
luxury life.
After the Grand Prix the other night, we caught dinner at one of the restaurants and then headed home. Didn't have to cook a late dinner and clean dishes and all that. It was lovely.
Yeah, it's a pretty good life, for sure, for sure.
It's not bad.
Well, listen, Aaron, we really appreciate you stopping in. Hopefully
Absolutely.
You'll come back again sometime.
Absolutely.
And
come back and talk about more winning.
I hope so.
Yeah, and I'll be at WEC cheering you on in the next Grand Prix. I'm sure it's right down the road for me.
We've
so
got a couple shots at that. They've got them for 8 more weeks. Well, currently, and that's just the winter schedule. So.
Exactly, and I'll probably see you around at HITS because I got a medium pony and another jumper that I have there. So.
Excellent. Excellent.
All right, well, listen, good luck with everything. And,
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Hey, Rick here. Do you have a horse suffering from poor performance, anxiety and fear, low appetite, agitation, or nervousness? Stress Less can help. Stress Less, the hot horse remedy, is veterinarian-developed, show-safe, all-natural formula that promotes calmness, focus, and mood balance in horses experiencing stress related to training, showing, racing, stall rest, and travel. This equine supplement encourages calmness, focus, and mood balance without affecting the motor skills or energy levels of your horse. It promotes a more willing and balanced temperament with no drowsiness or impaired function, resulting in increased focus, a calm mind, and a happier horse and rider. Try Stress Less today and see for yourself why we think Stress Less is the best hot horse remedy you will find. Check us out at centerlinedistribution.net and on Facebook and Instagram as Stress Less Horse Supplement.
Summit Joint Performance, the injectable joint supplement used by numerous international and Olympic riders, invites you to experience the winning Summit difference. Made of all natural ingredients, Summit increases mobility and comfort. Win your class with Summit Joint Performance.
Welcome back to the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We're in Horse Trailer Pro Studios here on the lot, and we have a great visitor.
Yeah, so we are excited. We've got Caroline Martin, who has made a name for herself in the sport of eventing from a young age. She's now super old. She's earned multiple titles and championships, including junior Olympian gold medalist. As a young rider, Caroline was quickly recognized as a promising star in U.S. eventing. She's been named to the U.S. Developing Rider Team and training list every year for nearly a decade.
Decade.
For a decade. Caroline has shown consistently more than anyone else in recent history. In fact, she was named to the high performance team at 17, making her the youngest equestrian to do so. At only 26 years of age, Caroline has already represented her country on multiple Nation Cup teams, topped annual leaderboards countless times, and is seen as an icon for many young competitors and some old ones who aspire to follow in her footsteps. With an active social media following and one of the top sales businesses in the country, Caroline can be seen nearly year-round competing an average of 10 horses at each event she attends. In the last 2 years, Caroline has sold over 100 horses in partnership with Redfield Farms and Stahl Hendricks, currently shortlisted for the upcoming 2021, which technically I think they're still considered the 2020 Olympic Games, and has eyes on the 2024 LA Olympic Games. Caroline is poised to be a key member of Team USA for many years to come. That was well done.
Wow.
Well, I gotta give a shout out to athletics.
Yeah.
That was
And
them.
we've
They're
known Caroline
fantastic.
that whole time.
Yeah, I know. I feel more famous having
But
read that.
you know what's not in there? She's also doing the jumpers.
All right.
There you go.
Aaron Vale just left.
Yeah.
You do the jumpers.
Yeah, it's hard not to when you
know.
live in Ocala.
Exactly.
That World Equestrian Center, that is out of this world.
So I agree with you.
Yeah.
But we've known you for a very long while. You have very supportive mother and father.
The best.
They are amazing.
I'm really
They show
lucky.
up all the time,
Yeah.
cheering you on.
Yeah.
I can tell lots of stories.
Yeah.
Please do.
Good old Sherry.
Sherry's so funny. So I'll tell you. We're going to let you talk, but I wanted to tell my
tell.
story real quick. It was at Carolina Horse Park. It wasn't a good event total for you because you had a couple falls.
Yeah.
It happens.
One of them was on Captain Jack or Captain.
No, I would be Chrisana Z.
Yeah, Chrisana Z.
Yeah.
And then the other one there was two.
No, I only had one.
Did you only have one? Did
I
you get
went
stepped
straight-
on? You
I
got
went
Did you
stepped
straight
shake
on.
to
your
the
head, Rick, or
hospital.
did Caroline?
Maybe. But I remember your mother was sitting next to me, and you were coming through, and she grabbed my arm, and you went down, and she went, I went, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But it happens.
It does. Yeah.
But they're always there, especially Sherry. I know Dad might get off on other things, but
Yeah.
Sherry's always there. So tell me about your relationship with your mom and dad.
Oh, it's lovely. So, each relationship with each of them is so different. My dad is 100% the business side. I've always been close with him, but ever since I really started the sales business, I call him probably 15 times a day. Like, I can show you my phone. It's kind of embarrassing.
That's a good problem.
But he's such a great businessman.
Right.
He understands all aspects, And then Mom, to me, she's, for me, more the mental side. I can call her about any of the problems I have going on. If I feel stressed or I'm scared or whatever, she's always there for me. So I'm really lucky.
So that's
to have both of them.
well-rounded. So,
it is, yeah.
So John, she started you were coming up the ranks, young rider,
Yep.
doing a lot of stuff, didn't have your own business.
Correct.
Was a prodigy,
Yeah.
obviously, doing this.
Yeah.
But then you spun off 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and you started your own business.
Yeah. It just came upon times where my parents were like, all right, it's time to make or break.
Right.
Either create a business or go to college, study something and have a profession and then use riding as a hobby. And to me, I did take a gap year one time and I knew horses was always my passion. So I'm the type of person, all right, I'll figure it out.
Right.
So funny enough, Emil Spadone lives right down the road. I gave him a call. I said, I have some advanced horses I need to sell. I also need a part-time job. I'll clean stalls. I'll do this. I'll do that. He invited me over. He said, I heard you're a good rider. Threw me on a few horses and then said, can you do something with these two young horses? And I said, I'll figure it out. And then 2 weeks, they were sold. So then it started with that. And then Emil was impressed with that. So he called his business partner, Paul Hendricks in Holland. And he said, go visit Paul. He has some horses. I told him he needs to work with you. Paul liked how I rode them. Thank God. I was a bit nervous. Not going to lie. Show up to Holland and this little American girl and, and, Paul was very gracious and said, all right, take these two horses, get deals done. And then I sold them within a month or two. And funny enough, it was Ingomar, which you have.
I've got Ingomar.
Yeah, and then a really good intermediate horse that Shannon Lilly has called Ideal HX, which I think Shannon's at your place.
Yeah, she's at our place. She's going to be here in a couple weeks to get
Fantastic.
on the show.
So kind of two,
I
to
didn't
me,
realize
two of
I
my
was
favorite
that
horses. Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It was
a
really
small
cool.
world.
Yeah. And so I made definitely a few mistakes when I was producing the first group, but like I remember Ingmar landed and I entered in his first show training level. Same thing with Ideal, now I'm starting at beginner novice, which I think is a little bit better, but I was very gung-ho in the beginning because I wanted to do right by my business partners,
Right.
And then those were the first two.
That's amazing. I didn't realize that. So
So you've got this business now that's going.
Yeah.
And you're doing some jumper stuff.
Yep.
So are you doing the jumper stuff to just to produce the horses to sell them and to help the event horses get ready, or are you sort of toying with the idea of having some jumpers in your barn as well?
Mostly cross training, to be honest. I've always done a handful of jumper shows, so I trained quite a bit with Ann Krasinski. And then one year, a few years ago, I went to Wellington to spend a week with her, or 2 weeks. And just for fun, she's like, why don't you do Grand Prix at meter 50, meter 55? And that kind of got me addicted a little bit in a way.
That's
so
big.
yeah, it was big and it was quite fun. So I do it as cross training, but ideally I would love to have more show jumpers, but eventing's where my heart is at, and
Right.
I'm just a bit addicted to eventing.
Yeah, that cross
That's
country
good. I
is
don't
sort
wanna
of hard
lose
to.
her.
The cross country is hard to not want to do. So have you been out eventing yet this spring, or this winter?
Yeah, I think I've already done like 50 runs or something.
Perfect.
Yeah. I think we had 18 horses run at Rocking Horse, 18 horses the week before, and then only a few at Barnstable and Majestic Oaks.
Right.
So yeah.
So if there's an event, you're there.
See, she
Yes.
pronounced that correct.
Which one?
Which one?
Barnstaple.
Yes.
It's Barnstaple.
I got you. I do also work for Derek Strines.
Yeah.
Okay,
so I
wait.
got
So how are you supposed to say
You
it?
say it like you say over in England.
Barnstable.
Barnstaple, but we're in Florida, so
So
I
it's
call it
Barnstaple.
Storm Barnstaple. Not sure about that one.
Yeah, no, those are all great venues, and we're so lucky that we have all these options now.
I know,
I
it's
mean, I remember it
terrific.
wasn't that long ago was really looking like we were only going to have Rocking Horse for a while.
Yeah.
And then Florida Horse Park was able to stick around, and now
It's just there's a lot.
It's insane.
There's a lot of choices, but you also have another eventing rider that's helping you out.
Yes, Shelby Brose.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's fantastic. So she started about a month ago, and I am so lucky. Like, she
She's-
is so hardworking. She's so humble. Like, I am beyond impressed with her.
I've been
Like,
seeing her on the scoreboard with the Redfield horses.
Yeah.
She's been doing great.
Yeah, she's been doing really, really good. So, and it's, it's not easy. We get them in. Maybe they'll land on a Monday or Tuesday. Then you got to show them to clients. She might not be getting the rides on them every time.
Right.
They'll be ridden by the clients, and then she's still got to go take something training or prelim that
Right.
weekend that she's only jumped once. It's not
Sure,
easy.
it's
It's
not
catch
easy.
riding,
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
that's such a good point, and I think that's something when I've had young sort of aspiring kids who want to be professionals and they have a couple horses in for sale, I've absolutely had that conversation with them where they'll be ready on a Thursday to go to an event, and I'm like, look, you actually have to show it for sale today.
Yeah.
And they will, well, how am I supposed to compete it this week? I'm like, toughen up, man. That's the way it goes.
It is, but at the same time, it's really good practice because I find sometimes for team competitions, say you fly over there, the horse has shipping fever or something, you don't jump it for a few weeks, and then you have to go perform. You figure it out, you perform, and you kind of learn. It's the same type of feeling, so you learn how to perform under pressure because sale horses, they're owned by other people. I have these bosses. We have to figure it out. You have to make it clear. Whatever you do, just come home double clear.
Right.
So it's good practice with that type of pressure. Obviously, it's different levels of pressure, but
Yeah,
Still
but pressure
pressure.
is pressure.
Pressure
Yeah.
is pressure.
My first horse job that I had working for Peter Gray and Paul Delbrook, I was down here maybe a week, and I had to go show a sale horse to Don Stewart.
okay. So yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Probably about as
Is
scared as
that
I've
why
ever
you said
been.
that to Aaron, that you were
Yeah.
terrified of
I
Don
was
Stewart?
scared out of my
That's
mind.
funny.
Yeah.
I can understand that. Like, so when I went to Aachen in 2019, I remember going into show jumping, and Paul Hendricks was there, and he had like a VIP spot with all of the other Dutch dealers, and he was like, I'm going to bring all my friends into the in gate, and we're going to watch you ride and all this stuff. And I was terrified.
Sure.
Like, I could care less. I know Islandwood will jump clear. I'm not worried about that. I'm more scared of what Paul's going to think, and what if I don't ride well? I'm going to get fired, Like, that's what I'm stressed about.
It's a fair point. Well, with that, what I'd like to do is we're going to take a quick break, and then that's a great little tease, because when we come back, I want to talk about your top event horses, where they've been, but more importantly, where you want to go.
And some special person in your life.
Oh.
Yeah, me. We'll be right back.
Grant Showalter has over 15 years of equine bodywork and saddle fitting experience. His technique uses manual pressure and stretching to release points of restriction, leading to freer movement, reduced soreness, and restored range of motion. He has a thorough understanding of the importance of a properly fitted saddle. You can quickly identify and correct any balance issues and can adjust your saddle on site. I personally have Grant work on all of my event horses to keep them feeling their best before, during, and after their competitions. Grant is based in Florida year-round, but regularly travels to Georgia, Tennessee, and the surrounding areas. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 484-639-4454. Jump for Joy USA has what you need for your private farm or recognized competition. Our jumps are no maintenance, easy to move, and affordable. No scraping or painting necessary. We offer jump stands, wings, fillers, water trays, and more. Poles are wood-filled and available in 4 weights and lengths. And we now offer octagonal poles. Our cross-country portables and brush jumps are extremely useful and have been used for training by the British eventing team since 1990. Easy to move from the arena to the field and no tractor required, so you can change your setup often. We ship coast to coast in the USA and Canada. Visit our website, jumpforjoyusa.com. When it comes time to compete, I demand the best out of my horses and myself. That's why Elemental Fit Lab, the home of CrossFit antics, is my home gym. Coach Vilma and her team create a fun, welcoming environment for athletes of all levels. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned athlete, Elemental Fit Lab will guide you towards a stronger, healthier version of you. Mention the Jon and Rick Show to get 3 free personal training sessions with enrollment.
Sweet Dixie South is an equestrian facility built for the lifestyle of eventers of all levels. Whether you are coming to Ocala for the entire season, a week, a month, or a year, this beautiful 160-acre farm is the place to settle in and enjoy your time with horses. They offer a full cross-country course with 2 water features, banks, ditches, and amazing footing to gallop, a spectacular all-weather footing ring, large grass jumping fields, and dressage rings. Located in the rolling hills of North Marion County in Reddick, Florida, Sweet Dixie South has 100 stalls and numerous paddocks, apartments, a line of camper hookups, washer and dryer amenities, as well as common areas to complete your experience during your stay. Under the ownership of Mike Campbell and the management of Can-Do Joe Adams of Top Rail Tack, Sweet Dixie South has transformed into a premier eventing training facility in Florida. Go to www.sweetdixiesouth.com for more information.
Welcome back to the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We are here in the Horse Trailer Pros studios and happily are still with Caroline Martin. So Caroline, we were talking before the break about a trip you had taken over to Europe. You've been over a couple of times, right?
Yep.
And I actually remember you went over and were on a Nations Cup team maybe 2-3 years ago, and you guys did great, the whole team. I remember it was kind of like a junior team.
Oh, yeah. We went to Houghton Hall,
Yeah.
and I think it was.
Was that your first one?
No, I did the year before Houghton. I did Buccolo that year, and then I went back and did Houghton again, and I also did Great Meadow in America.
Right.
And then I did Houghton, the second time or third time. I think I did Houghton Nations Cup 3 times.
But you guys got a team medal.
Yeah, I think it was like the first one in a while overseas. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Not here in America.
Yeah, when you actually had everybody to compete
I'm not
against.
talking smack, but
No, it was cool. I was really proud of you guys because, like you said, we hadn't won medals as a country in a while, and then we send over the junior team, basically, right? It wasn't juniors, but a young team.
It was, yeah.
And
we were hungry that day.
You killed them.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was me, Hallie Kuhn. I'm pretty sure it was Catherine Coleman. I might be wrong.
I think that's right.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah, and then I just remember Leslie was like, all right, guys, you better enter on your dressage scores or you're not coming back. And we're like, fuck, okay, we're going to go really fast. We're going to come home. And it worked out. It was good. We had a good plan going into it, so.
Yeah, but with you 3, I think if you said you have to go fast, that would probably be mission accomplished.
Yeah, to be honest. Yeah, a little bit daredevils. Yeah.
So, I see you playing with something on your finger.
Oh.
What is that?
I am engaged.
Who are you engaged to?
Dennis, who's sitting right over there on the couch.
There's Dennis.
Hopefully he can link a picture, but
we'll make sure.
We can. You send us a picture, we'll put it up.
Okay, perfect. I'll figure out the most embarrassing one.
So how did y'all meet?
So he was my brother's best friend growing up. So I've known him. Yeah.
So it's a lifelong.
So,
Yeah.
so hold on. What does your
Well-
brother think of this?
Oh, the first thing he said to him was that, watch out for my sister. She's not so good. Like,
Really?
the first
So he
thing.
wasn't worried about Dennis
No,
coming for you and like protecting you. He was trying to protect Dennis from you.
Yeah. The first thing, he was so mad at me, and I was like, come on, Nick. Like, I let my brother date like 4 of my friends. I was like, I was the good sister.
Right. And
Yeah.
there's only this that you can return the favor.
Yeah. See?
Right?
Thank you.
So how long have you been seeing each other?
I think it's 3 years, something like that. Yeah. So we were both, in relationships or whatever, and then he moved back into the area 3 years ago in Pennsylvania, and his parents are from there, and we're all family friends. So he came over for a 4th of July party, and I had to go to Maryland horse trials the next day, and I told my sister, I was like, I really don't want to be throwing a party at the farm. I need to go to bed because I have to leave at 1 a.m. to drive because it's quite a few hours away. She's like, we're gonna do it. Just come have like a quick bite to eat. And then I see Dennis and we start chatting, and then he's like, oh, I'm moving back in the area. Do you have any friends? Like, can you introduce me to people? And I was like, sure. So I took him out with some of the working students, and then we just hit it off like that. It was just like, it was really
So
good.
you mentioned that Pennsylvania. So I don't
Yes.
think we talked about that real quick, and we'll get back with the great Dennis. But you have a farm in Ocala and a farm in Pennsylvania.
That's
so
correct.
people don't get confused.
Yeah.
You go up there for the summer.
6 months,
Yep.
in 6 months, yeah.
So 3 years ago, started hanging out.
Yeah, but it was pretty quick, to be honest, because we started dating, in the first month or whatever, and then I broke my collarbone.
I
And
remember that.
My parents live in Miami, so I had no one to take me to the hospital and help me get surgeries and all this stuff. And Dennis is the nicest human, and just was like, I'll take you, I'll help you. He drove to the hospital I was in where I got discharged, and he took me to New York to get the surgery, and then
Was
we
that
were.
Danger Mouse?
Yes, yeah, sadly.
This is a good
So.
test though. Like he's in now.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
know.
Anyone who like going into the relationship, like a lot of guys, Dennis, would have run. Been like, this girl is insane. She competes in this sport where she does stuff like breaks her collarbone, and she's not worried about like, oh, I wonder what I'm gonna look like.
No,
in a
she's like, when can I
strapless
get back on
dress.
a horse?
She's like, I wonder if they can mold this thing back together, put a couple rivets in it, and be ready to run in a week's time, right?
It was like 10 days, okay?
Yeah.
It was long enough, no.
So with the injury, you consult with Dr. Mark Hart?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
And
and
so they
then-
send you to the best specialist that you could get?
these guys are great. So it's hospital for special surgeries.
It
Sadly,
seems like you were there with
I've had-
Boyd Martin at the
yeah,
same time.
yeah. I've had 3 collarbone surgeries now, so they just keep
You
snapping.
should break your fall with something else.
I know. I'm not very good at falling. I've done the land safe. I just stay on them until we're both on the ground. I'm
You
like,
need to give up. You need to know when to give up.
Yeah, no. So.
Well, talk about what your aspirations are for 2020 and 2021. What horse do you have? Do you have 3?
I have quite
How many
a
do you
few.
have on the application list?
Yeah, like we can
Danger
say
Mouse?
3. We can say Danger Mouse, Islandwood, but I have some really good up and coming horses, So I have Diablo Hit, which is
that's a nice horse.
Yeah, it's by Diorado, and then the dam side actually has Sandro Hit in it. He's kind of an interesting horse. So he was sent to me to be sold. Sold him twice.
Is
Got
that
returned.
Carol Stevens' horse?
Yep.
Okay.
He got returned twice for not being a good enough horse. Then I was like, Carol, I give up. I traded someone the last time, a personal horse of mine. I was like, it's got to be mine forever. Like, it doesn't like anyone else, I think,
So it's a Sandro Hit.
Yeah.
So we've had a couple of them, and I'm just curious with yours, like they are incredible movers.
Yeah.
Really good gallopers.
Yeah.
They jump incredibly well.
Yeah.
But the 1 or 2 that we've had have had really difficult walks.
Yeah, awful walk.
And the one in particular that we had a really lateral walk. And
Yeah.
You had to work super hard to keep it soft and supple and true.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, and he's a one rider type horse. If I'm not there to ride him, he can go out lunging or something else, or hacking, and so it's not. He's just tricky in the head.
But it's cool that you've turned that one around because
Yeah.
we knew about that one from a couple of years ago.
Knock on wood, you never know
Yeah,
with
never
horses, So he won a 2-star long last year, so he'll go intermediate this year. I also have a really cool Dexter R horse. His name's Redfield Dexter. Paul and Emil sent him to me, and then he's originally a sale horse, couldn't get sold, kind of has bad back X-rays, so
Right.
he's my horse. Fantastic
Is that
animal.
Kissing Spine?
Yeah.
Or, yep.
And then I have I actually have 12 total at the moment. Yeah, we've got a lot of young ones.
So I'm assuming you're going to Kentucky, is that the plan?
Yep, that's the
So
plan.
what are you taking there?
Islandwood and Danger Mouse.
Perfect. So those are the two you're really thinking have
So
a chance
nothing
for
in the
Olympics.
4 short. They're having a 4 short.
Yeah, I might do Danger Mouse in the 4 short. You just kind of see. I would like to be competitive in both, you
Sure.
know.
Right.
So,
And then what?
and then if Burley's happening, maybe that'd be good for Islandwood. We just kind of play it by ear. With coronavirus, it's a bit hard
It's
at
hard
the
to
moment.
It's
figure
tough
out
to
what's
know.
going on.
I want to go to Bromont, and I don't even know if that's going to be a possibility.
I was thinking the same thing, and I
Yeah.
think I'm going to replan to do stuff in Ocala. So,
Yeah.
my business is growing right now, so it's a kind of a blessing that I can a little bit with COVID shutting down all the events. I can maybe focus a little bit on the business and
Sure.
keep producing that, and then I'll really focus on my career. Maybe next year when everything will get back to normal.
Right, when the vaccination's all
Yeah.
spreading out and getting there.
But we'll see. It's hard.
I feel like we're going to be, in my professional medical opinion,
Yeah.
for my
Yeah.
grade 12
Let's go
education,
with that one.
I think we're going to be good by late summer. I think we'll be
That would be really.
I agree with you.
reasonably good.
I've just been chomping at the bit. I don't know about
No
you, but
pun
I'm just
intended.
like, yeah, right? I've just been ready to go, and it's just like you get your hopes up, and then you gotta let the horses back down, or
Right.
it's
So-
hard for me mentally.
So the other big event,
Yeah,
the big event,
the big event.
when are all we getting our invitation?
yeah. When's this party?
Where is it?
So that's the hard thing, right?
Is
so
it going to be in Miami? Your mother loves
Wait a
Miami.
minute. Hold on.
know.
So, are we talking like we have to decide what horse shows we're going to know?
Oh no, we'll do it.
You know that's the fact, right? Yeah, he knows.
We'll make sure that.
It can be in May, but it's after Rolex.
We'll make sure it's a weekend that it's empty.
Kentucky. Sorry.
Yeah. Come on,
Whatever you
Land
do.
Rover.
Land Rover.
Yeah.
Go with it. No, we're gonna make sure that I think next year, hopefully when we all have the vaccine, and that we can just have, like I was thinking, maybe we'll elope and then we'll have a huge party, because that's what we all care about. We care about good food,
Yep.
and we care about booze.
Yep.
That's all.
Good food
So,
and booze.
Let's just do
And a
that.
good- and
good music.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right.
Sounds good. So we'll wait for that invitation.
yeah. Oh, everyone's invited. Like
Good.
I want a huge
Knock it
bash.
out.
Ripper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
We actually can do it in South Beach at the Delano. Can we do that?
I was picturing like in Ocala in a field.
I'm gonna sell like 1,000 horses this
No,
year to
I'll
afford
go
that.
to your dad and say, hey, y'all live close to the Delano.
Yeah, do we
Can't
know
just
someone?
go to the Delano and celebrate this
That's a great idea.
relationship?
I know.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to give you a call.
Yep.
This will be great. I can't wait.
I know.
Well, listen, Caroline, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. Good luck with the rest of the spring. I know I'll be seeing you at all the events anyway. But,
Yeah,
you know,
we'll see every weekend.
Officially the Jon and Rick show. Good luck.
Oh,
And
thank you.
yeah, so we will hopefully get you back on.
Yep.
Thank you.
And that usually means that you win your next event after you've been on the show.
Yeah, it's pretty much a guaranteed.
3 Lakes wins. Here I come.
All right, 3 Legs, watch out. Caroline's coming for you.
Thanks a lot and see you next show.
Rick Wallace,
And I have Don Holling here with me.
3 phases, dressage, cross country, show jump, and you're out on course and something's going wrong or going right, you know how to react to what they're doing.
It was built originally to be a schooling facility, and so everything's set up very conveniently.